Most people believe that if someone dislikes them, they will know. They imagine obvious signs, arguments, criticism, conflict, but in reality, dislike is often silent. People rarely tell you how they truly feel. Instead, they become distant, less responsive, less engaged, less interested in your presence. And because no one says anything directly, you may never realize it's happening. The uncomfortable truth is that being disliked is not always caused by doing something wrong. Sometimes it comes from behaviors that seem harmless on the surface. One of the most common is making every interaction about yourself. This doesn't always mean bragging. In fact, it can appear in subtle ways. Constantly redirecting conversations back to your experiences. Waiting for your turn to speak instead of listening. Turning someone else's story into your story. Most people don't consciously notice this behavior, but emotionally they feel it. They leave conversations feeling unseen, unheard, unimportant, and human beings naturally gravitate toward people who make them feel valued. The irony is that many people who struggle socially are trying too hard to be liked. They focus on impressing others, instead of understanding them, and that single shift can change everything. Because people rarely remember how much you talked. They remember how you made them feel. Another surprising reason people secretly dislike someone is excessive niceness. At first, that sounds impossible. Isn't being nice a good thing? Of course it is. But there is a difference between kindness and approval-seeking. Kindness comes from genuine care. Approval-seeking comes from fear. Fear of conflict. Fear of rejection. Fear of disappointing others. When people sense that your niceness is motivated by a need for acceptance, something changes. They may appreciate your behavior, but they often respect you less. Because authenticity creates trust. Desperation creates discomfort. Think about the most respected people you know. They are usually kind, but they also have boundaries. They can say no. They can disagree. They do not constantly shapeshift to please everyone around them. Paradoxically, trying to be liked by everyone often makes you less likable. Because people are naturally drawn to individuals who know who they are. Confidence attracts. Neediness repels. And excessive people-pleasing often communicates neediness without a single word being spoken. This is why some people are respected despite being imperfect, while others are overlooked despite trying endlessly to please. The difference is not kindness. The difference is authenticity. One of the hardest truths about social rejection is that it is often invisible. People rarely announce their loss of respect. They simply change their behavior. They stop seeking your opinion. They stop inviting you. They stop investing energy into the relationship. And sometimes the signs are so subtle that they go unnoticed for months or even years. But understanding these signals is not about becoming paranoid. It is about becoming aware. Awareness allows growth. The goal is not to make everyone like you. That is impossible. Every person carries different values, preferences, and insecurities. No one is universally admired. The real goal is something much healthier. To become someone who is respected by the people who matter. Someone who listens. Someone who is authentic. Someone who values connection more than approval. Ironically, the less obsessed you become with being liked, the more naturally likable you often become. Because people can sense when you are comfortable being yourself. And authenticity is one of the rarest social qualities in the modern world. You do not need universal approval. You do not need everyone to admire you. You only need enough self-awareness to understand how your behavior affects others. And enough confidence to remain genuine anyway.